So let's start with our today's session. And before we get into the session, let's revise what we have covered in all of these sessions. So we started with what is cybersecurity and why it is important, or what is the real world relevance of cybersecurity. And then we learned about CIA triad. What are the core pillars of CIA triad, like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Then we discussed about the types of malware that are present and how they affect us. So there were 6 and 7 types of malwares like virus, worm, Trojan horse, spyware, ransomware, adware. So these were the types of malware that we discussed, and then discussed about the classification of cyber crimes that happens against individuals, against property, and against government. So these are the classification that we discussed, and then we discussed about why it is important to report cyber crimes or cyber incidents. Then we learned about social networking, safety, why it is important, and what are the social risks associated with social media. And then the safe behavior on social media that can help us prevent us from any kind of attacks. So we discussed about the trust rule, and then after that we discussed about our digital footprint that is present online. So we discussed about it and how we can maintain a positive footprint. Then we discussed about some cyber etiquettes for messaging and posting, like how should we act and behave on online or social media platforms. So after that, in module 3, we discussed about safe browsing, what is browsing and why it is needed to practice safe browsing. How can we detect the website is safe or unsafe? What is cache and how we can clear it? What are the safe browsing practices? And uh, social media browsing tips, like what should we do while browsing social media. And then we discussed about mobile browser safety, why it is important to have mobile browser safety. Then we discussed about a cyber hygiene checklist. After that, we discussed about safe browsing, how email is also considered a threat and is the uh, most common uh, uh, mode of communication that is targeted by cyber criminals. Then we discussed about the classification of emails, like what are the classification of attacks, how they try to attack us on emails, like spam emails, phishing emails, and malware attachments. After that, we discussed about what and how can we tell that the email that is sent by the hacker is an phishing email or a malware attachment that is added to that email. So we discussed about that, what are the signs of that, and then we discussed about how can we make them secure, and what are the safe email practices that we must follow to keep ourselves protected on email. After that, we discussed about strong passwords and why does passwords matter, how to create strong password, what are the do's and don'ts of creating a password, and what or which password manager which we should use, and if we are using a password manager, what are the things that we must look for. After that, we discussed about Wi-Fi security, what are the components of Wi-Fi security, what are the common Wi-Fi vulnerabilities that are present on the Wi-Fi, and what are the dangers associated with the public Wi-Fi. And then we discussed about if we are using public Wi-Fi, we must be connected to a VPN. We discussed about that, and then we also discussed about the components of our home Wi-Fi, what are the components that are present in our home Wi-Fi, and how we can keep them secure. So after that, in module 7, we discussed about password managers, why is the need of password manager, and why should we use one for ourselves. After that, in module 8, we discussed about some key security concepts like antivirus software and how does it work, what is a firewall and why do we need it, what is encryption and how does it work, and what type of encryptions are there, steganography, and then computer forensics. So this is what we have discussed up till now. And in previous session, we discussed about mobile device security. Why does it matter, and what are the common threats associated with mobile device security, like malware and spyware, phishing attacks via SMS or apps, unsecured Wi-Fi network attacks, lost or theft of devices, unauthorized access to apps and accounts. So these are the things that we discussed about in previous session. So today we will be discussing about the cyber security in India. Where do India stand in a cyber security or secure uh, or that provides us cyber security? So digital India is increased internet penetration and increased cyber threats. As the India is going digital and every service that is present offline is going digital, there are a number of or there is a significant increase in the internet penetration and increased cyber threats, as there are a lot of vulnerabilities present on the internet that can be exploited to gain access. So India does need a strong cybersecurity framework to protect citizens, businesses, and government institutions. So India is working aggressively on cyber safety at national and international levels. So how is India working on national and international levels? Is it has a lot of organizations that are working that we'll be discussing later in this session. First, we'll be discussing about major cyber threats that are present in India. First one is physical and email scams, phishing and email scams. So phishing is the most common cyber threat, not in India but overall in whole world. Phishing emails are sent in bulks, and anyone can send it with just a bot. So, phishing and email scams are more major cyber threats in India. Malware attacks like ransomware, spyware, and viruses. Ransomware and spyware and viruses are the most common cyber threats in India, as ransomware can be downloaded and spywares are downloaded from the internet, because in India we have the cheapest internet, and everyone has access to internet. Additionally, in India, piracy is practiced a lot, and they try to find these patched applications or patched or download movies from these different sources that sometimes downloads viruses and spyware and ransomware on their device while looking for something else. So this is also a major cyber threat in India. Identity theft. Identity theft is also one of the major cyber threat in India, as a lot of accounts get hacked by phishing, and a lot of passwords got breached and they lose their access to their account. So this identity theft is also very common. Identity theft also happened with me in 2022 when I was using LinkedIn. I don't know how they got my password, but when I logged in after a few days into my LinkedIn account, my all the details were gone. My profile picture was changed. My about section was changed, and when I tried to change it back, LinkedIn asked me to verify me based on the previous data that I had. So I had to verify myself. After only after that I was able to access my account. So identity theft is also most common threat in India. Data breaches. So data breaches are also common, as data centers got breached due to a vulnerability or exploited uh, zero day. Zero day is basically a vulnerability exploit that can be used or that is created and is not patched. So that is known as zero day. So data breaches are also common. Cyberbullying and online harassment is also common in India, because now people has access to these social media websites, and they create their accounts on these social media platforms, and cyberbullying and online harassment is very common, that most of the time it is neglected. But we can report it on the portal that we discussed. It is cybercrime.gov.in or 1930. So these are the things that India is working on and creating a uh, framework, or you can say services that can uh, protect you from these cyber threats that are present in India. Critical infrastructure attacks like banks, power grid, etc. So these are some major threats that are present in India. Now there are a lot of safety programs that are running in India, like Cyber Swastha Kendra, Botnet Cleaning and Malware Analysis Center. So this is basically a tool that can be downloaded from their official site, and it is launched by CERT India and provides free tools to detect and remove malware. So basically, it is an antivirus software that can be downloaded and can be used to remove and detect malware from our devices. It promotes hygiene in cyberspace. So this launching of this tool, or you can say Cyber Swachhta Kendra is the main motive to detect and remove malware from our devices. So this is one of the program that is running. Another one is India Cyber Crime Coordination Center (I4C). It is launched by Ministry of Home Affairs, and and it's their initiative. It focuses on combating cybercrime across India. It mainly focuses on combating cybercrime across India. So Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center is basically runs the national cybercrime reporting portal cybercrime.gov.in. So the cybercrime.gov.in that we where we can report cybercrime is basically comes under this Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. After that, we have Digital India Initiative, cybersecurity focus, which aims to transform India into a digitally empowered society. It promotes digital literacy and cyber safety awareness. Cyber awareness programs in schools, college, and rural area. So, Digital India Initiative, it has a cybersecurity focused section also, which aims to transform India into a digitally empowered society with cyber safety awareness, and it promotes digital literacy. It also runs several cybersecurity awareness programs in school, college, and rural area. It empowers the society on how we can protect ourselves in a digital space. So, this is the main focus of this Digital India initiative of the cybersecurity branch. Now, next is Information Security Education and Awareness ISEA project. It is implemented by Ministry of Electronics and IT. It targets students, teachers, and the general public free online coaching workshop on cybersecurity. So, this Information Security Education and Awareness project, it is implemented by Ministry of Electronics and IT. So on this portal, we have a lot of free courses and workshops on cybersecurity that we can go and get ourselves certified and keep ourselves aware of what is going on in India, or what is going on or in the digital space, and how the hackers are advancing in this field. So it is basically a free online course and workshop by provided by government, and it is a government initiative that they make us aware about these cybersecurity threats, and provides us sub courses on how to keep ourselves safe. Now, key government cybersecurity initiative. The initiatives taken by government in India. The CERT, Indian Computer and Emergency Response Team, is an initiative of the government that is basically National Nodal Agency for Cybersecurity. It detects, responds to, and manages cybersecurity incidents, issues regular advisories and alerts. The CERT India is basically the main nodal agency for cybersecurity. It detects incidents, it responds to cyber incidents, and it manages cyber incidents. It also issues regular advisories and alerts based on the data that it collects from detecting and responding and managing cyber incidents, so that the people that are present uh, in India can protect themselves. Like for example, let's say the advisories against the digital arrest that was getting a lot of attention while what in quite some time back. So CERT India issued an advisory that digital arrest is not such a thing, and they are trying to scam you digitally. So these kind of awareness or advisories or alerts are issued regularly by CERT. Now, National Cyber Security Policy 2013. This is a framework for protecting critical infrastructure, focus on capacity building, research, and threat management. Policy update currently underway for 2025. So, National Cybersecurity Policy was developed in 2013. It is a framework for protecting critical infrastructure, focus on capacity building, research, and threat management. So, National Cybersecurity Policy is a framework for protecting critical infrastructure that helps us in running those digital or internet or that services that are provided by the government. It focuses on capacity building, research, and threat management. So, it basically you can say it focuses on capacity building, means that it is focused on being self-reliant, and it also promotes research, like researching in this field how can we be more secure. And threat management is basically what are the threats that are that can be exploited, or basically ranking them in such an order that they are according to their severity. So this national cybersecurity policy is also under an update for 2025, where some policies might some frameworks inside this policy can be updated for the latest threats. After that, we have National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center (NCIIPC), which secures critical sectors like banking, telecom, energy, and transport. It works under National Technical Research Organization (NTRO). After that, we have Cybercrime Prevention Against Women and Children (CCPWC). Special focuses on crimes like cyberbullying, sextortion, and online harassment. Provides financial support to states for setting up cyber forensic labs. So, Cybercrime Prevention Against Women and Children is basically an organization that or initiative by government that especially focuses on crimes like cyberbullying, online harassment, and sextortion. And it also provides financial support to states for setting up their own for cyber forensic lab, because cyberspace is expanding, and these crimes are also increasing day by day. After that, we have some developments that are in cybersecurity are launch of Data Protection Act 2023. It focuses on personal data security. Like you might have seen that the data that you are sending to the application or entering in the application is based on your personal privacy. So that is also a part of this Data Protection Act. Push for 5G cybersecurity readiness. So this pushing for cybersecurity in 5G is also a recent development in cybersecurity. Emphasis on indigenous cybersecurity tools under Atmanirbhar Bharat. So India is also working on indigenous cybersecurity tools under Atmanirbhar Bharat. Like we have this tool, uh, Cyber Swachhta Kendra, which is launched by CERT and provides free tools to detect and remove malware, promotes hygiene in cyberspace. So this is also a part of this indigenous cybersecurity tools under Atmanirbhar Bharat. International cooperation with countries like USA, Japan, and Australia towards cybersecurity partnership. Now, how we can contribute at cybercrime.gov.in. We can report the crimes that are happening around us at cybercrime.gov.in. Practicing cyber hygiene, like using strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and safe browsing, and all the things that we discussed in previous sessions. Staying updated with CRT in advisory can also make us aware about what are the things that are going on in cybersecurity. Participating in government cyber awareness campaigns can also make us aware about what are the threats that are present in today's world. So let's move on to the final assignment of this session or internship. Design an infographic highlighting 5 key government-led cybersecurity programs and their impact. So you have to design an infographic highlighting 5 key government-led cybersecurity programs and their impacts on the society. So this is the final assignment that you have to submit on this link, or you can scan this QR code. You have to upload your assignment and you have to submit the form. If you do not submit your form and close the tab, your assignment will not be submit, and you will not be getting the certificate. So what you have to do is you have to upload the assignment and then you have to click on submit the form. After that only you will be getting the certificate. So keep this in mind. This time you don't have to upload and close the tab, you have to submit the form. Now let's move on to the quiz section. Before we move on to quiz section, do you have any doubts? Okay, so Let's move on to the quiz section. Explain the role of CERT in India's cybersecurity framework. The role of CERT in cybersecurity frameworks is it is basically the national nodal agency for cybersecurity. It detects, responds to, and manages cyber incidents. It also issues regular advisories and alerts. Now, briefly describe two national programs initiatives initiated by the Indian government to promote cyber safety among citizens.
Is India sign Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center and
Mhm.
Cyber Search Kendra.
Yeah, Cyber Search Kendra and Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center. So these are the two national programs initiated by the Indian government to promote cyber safety among citizens. Why is it important for citizens to report cyber crimes through National Cybercrime Reporting Portal? How does it help in strengthening cyber security in India?
Well, it gives the exact data of how many cyber crimes have been happening and from which area. Plus, it also helps to prevent further actions.
Yes, exactly. And it also adds to their database, and which also helps the CERT in issuing the advisories and alerts as they collect the data of how these attacks are happening and how these can be detected and how the person should respond to it if they got caught in the initial phases. So this also helps them the data that they are collecting by report from this portal where cybercrimes are reported. So it will also help them to issuing the regular advisories and alerts. So this is it for today's session and for the last session. So the key takeaways for this session is cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. India is actively working to create a secure digital ecosystem. Empower yourself with knowledge, vigilance, and safe practices. Now, if you have any doubt from any of the modules, you can go ahead and
So just a quick question: what is the homework for today? Sorry, I was not able to understand it clearly.
pardon.
What is exactly the assignment for today? Sorry, actually, I was not
Okay,
able to
okay,
understand it.
okay. So today's assignment is you have to design an infographic highlighting 5 key government-led cybersecurity programs and their impact. So basically, you have to create an infographic. You have to highlight the impact of the government-led cybersecurity programs and what are those government-led cybersecurity programs. It can be the program that we mentioned over here in the PDF, or you can pick another 5 that are currently going on. So that's your choice, which one you want to pick, and you have to design an infographic. And please do ensure that you submit the assignment after uploading your final assignment.
Sure, sir. So, can I submit it by tomorrow, like
Yes,
tomorrow evening?
yes, you can submit it by tomorrow evening. That's not an issue.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
But once you upload and submit the form,
Hmm.
do check that you have the all the assignments present over there according to the module. Okay.
Sure, sure. So, when like, after submitting all my assignments, till when can I get the certificate?
Uh, so I told you this, like it will be in a week or max to max 8 to 10 days. That's the maximum that it will
Okay,
take.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Chirag, for joining session. It was very nice interacting with you.